My apologies. I'll start again. Talofalava, greetings to you all. My name is Areta Samuelu. I'm an orthopedic registrar and I work in Apia, but I'm currently undergoing overseas attachment in Tauranga, New Zealand. I've been a PIOA trainee since 2015, and I would like to testify and I would like to talk about my experience as a trainee. Therefore, it is indeed an honor and a privilege to be here in front of you all and to represent my Pacific colleagues. I'd like to take this opportunity to sincerely thank the Orthopedic Outreach for the opportunity to represent PIOA with this experience. The PIOA has been providing training in the Pacific Islands since 2013. The association was established in Honiara, Solomon Islands, and the trainees come from 9 Pacific Island countries, namely Papua New Guinea, Solomon Islands, Fiji, Samoa, American Samoa, Kiribati, the Federated States of Micronesia, Vanuatu, and recently East Timor. So my experience throughout the training modules, I started in 2015, and it's just been an overwhelming experience for me, and I know that there's one I will never forget. I did not know what to expect, really. We stayed together in this little motel here, and it's about 10-minute walk to hospital. And interestingly, we had breakfast and dinner here every day. And funnily enough, I wanted to share that we use one iron, and that's the iron I always take with me whenever I travel, and we use it among ourselves. And that sort of started how our fellowship together with my colleagues began. And we developed this fellowship ever since then. We would walk together to the hospital in the mornings and report to the oblique fracture clinic. And then our handover started at 8 a.m. in the morning. Now, the cornerstone of our learning was to properly go through proper orthopedic history taking and also examination. We were blessed to be groomed in this vital aspect of care, and I thought that was very fruitful for me. As you can see, our mentors, they're taking us through the various examinations and listening to our history taking during the ward rounds, and also just giving us back a feedback on how to take a proper history and proper examination. The experience I felt was quite overwhelming for me was having a first experience with a simulator, which was from Switzerland for a knee simulator. And it was the first time to have it in South Pacific at the time, 2015. It helped us not only to obtain the arthroscopic skills that was needed, but it gave us a certain edge of competition amongst our colleagues as well. I think it was a really cool way to obtain and to learn the arthroscopic skills through the simulator. As you know, our communities back home, we have a high incidence of non-communicable diseases. So I felt that through my colleagues, we stood by life is motion and motion is life. And at the end of the day, Sean, who's one of my other colleagues who always lead us through our fitness programs, namely Te Para. And if we're tired, we'll go up for a walk up to the American War Memorial, as you can see in the pictures. So I thought about this camaraderie and what are the strengths of the Pacific Island Orthopaedic Association colleagues, and I thought number one was teamwork. And I thought that we started as isolated Pacific Island doctors, and over the years, we've become a team. We've learned We've learned a lot from not only our mentors, but we've learned a lot from each other as well, and developing local champions among ourselves. Nowadays, there's a social media. We have a Viber group, and this group chat involves both the trainees and the mentors, and we discuss a lot of our cases and all the difficult cases we come across. We put it on Viber group, chat group, and we share, and we also learn a lot also from our colleagues. We get the feedback from our mentors to help us manage these cases. Our exam group went through this tool using Zoom, and I thought that was a very good tool to learn from, and it really helped 4 of our candidates of the last exam pass our exams through this as well. The second part of our strength I thought was adapting to the new and improved orthopedic training and applying that back home and taking those principles and applying them back at home in our islands. And the simple thing of learning how to do a proper hand wash and hand hygiene, it went a long way for us. Of course, it saves lives, but it's been applied to all our hospitals in the islands. And a proud moment for us was that the Solomon Islands had published their first ever antibiotic guideline from the learnings that we did from the infectious disease module. A monumental step for us was Sean performing the first TENS nails in Samoa. And that's all from learning from the modules and taking that principle of teaching and practicing at home. And also of note of Stephen becoming a first graduate and taking on board what he's learned from all the teachings and teaching our younger colleagues as well. Lastly, I thought that as Pacific Islanders, we are family-oriented people. We are willing to learn and will not take for granted the opportunity to better ourselves for the better care of our people. We are strong in numbers. As you know, we are still in the infancy stage of development of our association, but we're not afraid to learn from our mistakes and always open-minded for room of improvement. I'd like to share that just last month, we set our final exams, and unfortunately, I did not make it, but instead of my colleagues celebrating, we all got together and just hugged each other and just helped us through it all. So it's sort of the epitome of our camaraderie and brotherhood. So just wanted to share that with you today. Of course, we have challenges, and what can we do better? Well, the National University of Samoa has provided accreditation and recognized our efforts as having a Masters of Orthopedic Surgery in the Pacific. And we are waiting for other countries as well to provide that as well for us. We have problems with our supply of equipment, and we have problems with the support of our local administrators, especially with funding and financial support, which is something that, we'll need to work on as well as a unit. The future, for me, the future is bright for PIOA. We have 4 new graduates, and to add on to the total of 5 since 2013. We are slowly affiliating with our members, also with the Asia Pacific Orthopaedic Association, the New Zealand Orthopaedic Association, and we have some of our colleagues as well who are presented in their meetings as well. We also, I like to mention, we also have a candidate who's also received a scholarship opportunity for the American Association of Hand Surgery next year. So it's something to be proud of from our colleagues and our members. And I'm sure the goal for him was to experience that and to return home and to improve the local care and educate his colleagues as well. At the end of our PIO program, we are given an opportunity and a chance to have overseas attachment and experience. And currently, I'm in Tauranga Hospital. I've just started since July this year. And it's just been, for me, I've been very grateful for learning. The teaching over the years has helped me cope with attaching in Tauranga Hospital. And the aim and the goal is to achieve the local skills in teaching and taking it back to Samoa and help my people lift the standard of care. Lastly, I'd like to make a thank you to Western Health Australia from Melbourne as a visiting team that comes to Samoa regularly every year. Mr. Clifford and Mr. Pianta, I'd like to thank you for all that you've done for teaching and also helping also the service back home. And just been through discussions the last few days, the longevity goals for us is to look into other areas that I think that we need to improvement in our service in Samoa, and that is namely arthroplasty, spine, and hands. Thank you very much for your time.